The lesson.
Oh yeah.
I guess on the topic of working, with dudes here in Australia, you had a couple of releases. It's just bars, and I think the first one, m-phazes, did some production.
Yeah, he did
that.
some on the album as well.
And he's gone on to do crazy shit. Had credits on that Eminem album.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I guess how did that that project come together?
m-phazes, he's a really good friend of mine. Luckily, I've got lots of really good, talented friends. So the way we became friends is through Flagrant. Flagrant's his manager. m-phazes used to live up on the Gold Coast. Wasn't much going on for him up there at the time. So Flagrant got him to move down to Melbourne, and he moved in with Flagrant, and just spent the next couple of years just partying and great friends basically. So that's it really. Yeah, he got us to do a tune on his album on Good Gracious, which was dope. We went on tour with him for the Good Gracious tour with like Mantra, Draft, a load of people. That was a real good experience.
Yeah.
He's killing it at the moment. He's kind of stepped away from the hip hop stuff, doing a bit of other styles of stuff, and it's going really well for him.
When you first linked up and started doing music together and shit, could you have picked that he was going to take off the way that he did?
Maybe not how he has. I always knew. I knew he was going to do really well at it. I wasn't. I didn't ever envisage him like sort of transitioning out of hip hop. But I should have. It was natural for him to do that. He's got too much talent to kind of to limit himself in a way, I suppose. But I always knew he'd be huge. But I kind of had a sort of vision of him being like one of these big indie producers. Like a Marco Polo or those sort of what's the guy, Alchemist, that kind of thing. So it'd be like a staunch boom bap hip hop guy. So yeah, wasn't expecting what had happened, but yeah, it's only natural, and I don't think he would have it any other way. It's him, 100%.
Yeah, word. And then a few years later, you did the It's Just Bars 2.
Yeah.
And one of the guys that you worked with on that was Brad Strut.
Yeah.
So I guess tell us a little bit about that, because we're big fans of LC.
That Strut, I haven't seen Strut in a while, man. He kind of ducked out of music. He's got some family commitments and other stuff going on. I hope he's doing all right. Basically, that happened through, what was it? We were at a video shoot, Tauntz's video shoot for the tune with Apprentice, R.I.P. Bloody hell, I can't remember the name of it. You know the one I mean? You know the one I mean, though, like the huge one. And yeah, we were doing the video shoot for that. Brad Strut was down, and Flea had racked a load of champagne, and we were drinking champagne down by the river with these little mini bottles of Moet, the small ones. And we were drinking those, and we started calling them mini Moes. And then before you know it, someone just started freestyling mini Moes or something, and then we wrote a song about drinking small bottles of champagne, and that was how that song came together. So it was, you never hear Brad Strut do a song about drinking champagne again, or something as frivolous as that. But yeah, it was just fun, man. We just vibed it and freestyled and saw some hooks and came together. Like Dime should have been on it. He came up with the idea originally, but he didn't end up coming through on it. But yeah, it was a funny tune.
So is that one of the last things? Because I think that's 2014. That might have been one of the last things that Brad.
I reckon it probably would have been. Yeah, I don't know what don't think I've seen anything since.
Yeah, I can't think of.
No.
There you go. That could have been the last.
I think he had some stuff. I think he had, like everyone does. I think he had some stuff stashed away. Whether it will see the light of day, I don't know. I hope it does, because he's one of, everyone knows he's one of Australia's best, and it's not just because of being in lyrical commission and the era he was at, he is one of the best. Like, you see him, like, he really shines. Like, when you see him live and see him hold it down, like, you know, he's really, there's not many guys can really hold it down like he can live, you know what I mean? And if you haven't seen him live, you know, when he's on form, like, you really missing something special.
I ain't seen it yet, man.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm one of them people.
Okay, yeah, he's very good. Don't need no hype, man. Like, you know, and you know, other MCs will hear me say this. You know, it's a tough gig doing the whole thing. You know what I mean? And just managing to nail it properly, like it was, you know. So he's killer MC.
Now he, you know, you'd remember the joint that he did, Monopoly.
Yeah.
When, you know,
yeah.
Uncut and Obese were going at it, or, you know, had a bit of a thing. I guess as someone that was there, but you're from the UK, and although you're into hip hop, you do the grime thing, so you're perhaps a little bit on the outside of all that.
Yeah.
What do you recall about that, you know, being in Melbourne at that time?
It was very much a tale of two camps, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not my business to talk about it, and I don't know to, you know, I'm not going to go into ins and outs of it, but it definitely was felt like a two camps, you know, and there's people that were friends with everyone, and, you know what I mean? And, you know, like it's without going into stuff, which I'm not going to, like, it was an interesting time. You know, there was definitely people who were like, you're either on that camp or that camp. Some people went to this show, they didn't come to that show, you know, and there was shows on the same nights and things like that, and you know, things like that. Like I actually started back in 2006. I started a online hip hop channel, like TV show thing that never got released, but never came to fruition. But we did a load of interviews for it, and one of them was with Pegs. And I did ask him about all this stuff, and it's on video somewhere. I can't remember what he said, but it's on video somewhere, like sitting in Flagrant's house somewhere probably. So I had planned to do the same thing with Strut and Trem. Whether they would have done it, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, it never came out.
Pegs gave you his take on it?
Yeah. Well, and it wasn't from, I can't remember. He didn't say anything. It wasn't bad or anything. You know what I mean? I don't think there's any real, you know, issues. It's just, you know, music hip-hop. And hip hop, and these things happen, man.
The lesson. Oh yeah.